Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you are. Welcome to today's CDI webinar, Solving Real Problems with RAG. My name is Joseph Pagano. I'm based in Austin, Texas. I'm the managing director of the CDI services team in North America, and I will be your host today. Looking at our agenda for the day, I'm going to set the stage for what we want to accomplish. So first, we want to set the context for how we got here, how we arrived at this presentation. And since I presume most of you're here, you've read the webinar description, you presumably know that we decided to build a RAGBot as an internal project. In some ways, it was just to see what the process was like and what we could achieve in project conditions, so time box, budget constrained. But what we also wanted to do, and this is something we're going to talk about a lot today, is we were hoping to discover some things, that maybe aren't obvious initially about RAG applications until you try to build one. I mean, many of us have probably built one. We've probably seen demos of them, but we were trying to figure out, like, we actually go out and try to build one. What are we going to learn that we wouldn't know otherwise? And on that measure alone, the project, I think, is just generally a success. Then we're going to talk a little bit about the RAGBot itself. We're going to talk about the features and some of the scope that we took on, and then also get a little in detail on the tech stack, the tech underlying it. And then we'll do a demo, so we actually get to see this thing working live, and get to see some of the cool features. Which is, no matter how many times you see it, it's still, there's something kind of weird and magical about the thing. And I know you probably have all had the similar experience. And then we want to close out with the Q&A with the project team you see here. Excuse me. And hopefully we have a lot of time for that, because the one, I guess if there's one of the key takeaways from today is that this really did require a team with a lot of different skills. And going through this process, we learned about our roles and how they're like and unlike the roles that we usually play when developing a traditional chatbot. So this is really want to hammer that home when we get to the QA section, that everybody have a chance to talk to us all individually. And so let's talk about who we are. Excuse me if I'm going to stop choking. So we are, of course, CDI, Conversation Design Institute. We are a global team. We've got offices in Amsterdam, London, and Austin. Many of you know us, of course, because of CDI Academy and the great training we provide to individuals and companies. But we also have a services operation. We're featuring expert consultants who can help you build great AI assistants and, crucially, build the capabilities that you and your assistants need to thrive. And that runs the full spectrum. It can be self-paced training and upskilling for individuals to services for enterprises, such as auditing, custom training, and consulting. So that's the CDI introduction. I already mentioned I'm Joseph Pagano, Managing Director for CDI Services in the US. And with me here, you have the panelists. This is our RAGBot team. We'll start on the right. We've got Lucast, who is she's a conversation designer, a PhD in linguistics. And Ellen isn't a CDI employee, but we had the luxury of collaborating with her on this project. Her full-time gig is as a CXD with a big consultancy who should be left nameless, where she's working on a RAGBot project for a large US enterprise who shall also be left nameless. Is a mystery. We also have Luke Kempen. So Luke is our practice lead. He's based in Austin, Texas with me. Rini Palamittam, who is joining us from snowy Toronto. Rini is one of our conversational AI engineers and, in general, one of our most experienced, been there, done that consultants. And last but not least, we have Xico Casillas calling in from St. Louis. Xico is also a conversational AI engineer, and he is the lead developer on this project that we're about to discuss. So with that, let's talk about the project, and I'll hand it over to Luke.
Thanks, Joseph. First, we're going to set the context a little bit. I'm sure all of us have seen demonstrations of generative AI chatbots and RAG bots. We've seen how someone convinced a car dealership to sell them a car for $1. We saw an airline make up a refund policy and present that to a customer. And so there is definitely some justification to be cautious.